fans, how you all doing? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a fresh episode of FM22 and the Hall of Famer. Last episode is linked above, my friends. Today, we're going to crack on with the last episode of the current season. And I'm excited about this because it means then in a couple of days' time on the channel, we get started with our first proper season with West Ham. But as the title suggests, we could end this season in fashion. Right, my friends, so last episode, it was 2 defeats to Chelsea, unfortunately, if you are sticking with and you didn't go and catch it. We went out of the cup in extra time, 2 goals conceded. We had to go attacking, we had to overload, didn't we? Didn't work out for us, then we got beaten in the league after being 1-0 up. And I was a little bit worried, to be honest with you, going into the Liverpool game. I was worried that the form was going to landslide, and as you can see, it did anything but that. 5 wins and a draw from our last 6 games. We are playing Manchester City, last game of the season, and it's all in the balance. Not just for us, but for Man City and Manchester United as well. And I'm going to talk to you about European ramifications if certain things should happen as well. Because, yes, believe it or not, that's kind of where we're at with this team. It's pretty crazy. But let's talk about the form since we last met. Liverpool were up next. Christian Pavon put us 1-0 up. Nicolas Dominguez made it 1-1. Thomas Souček made it 2-1. We hung on in the second half. They really went for it. And we got ourselves a very, very good win at Anfield. Then we came up against Southampton. A 2-0 win here. Lufa Madal and Dominik Szoboszlai with the goals. Then a really disappointing draw, it has to be said, against Watford. I had to rotate the team. Games were coming thick and fast. And you'll see Lufa Madal puts 1-0 up. Gust Hill made it 1-1. It is what it is. You can't win them all. Then we came up against Leeds, a 2-1 win in this one. They went 1-0 to the good, but Lufa Madal and Declan Rice made it 2-1. Then Aston Villa were up, 3-0 win in this one. Christian Pavon, Dominik Szoboszlai and Lufa Madal. That Lufa Madal name, I keep saying it, don't I? What a player. With the goals. Then we came up against Burnley, and you'll see that Trevor Chalobah and Thomas Souček goals made it 2-0. But we left it very, very late. I was worried we were going to drop points there again. So that brings us up to date. We're playing Manchester City, last game of the season. Now, if we take a look at the Premier League, it's all in the balance, gang, because Manchester City go into the last game of the season a point ahead of Manchester United. So if City were to drop any points and Manchester United, were to win, they would go on and win the title. Whereas if Manchester City were to go and beat us, it basically guarantees the title. So it's a massive game for City as well as it is us. Now we've got West Ham and Liverpool, and it's a similar situation, only this time it's for 7th place. We're a point ahead of Liverpool. We're all the way up to 7th. You have to remember, when we took over the football club, we were 16th, so that's 9 places we've made up, gang. Pretty unbelievable to be finishing the season potentially in 7th. They have Spurs, I believe, on the last day of the season. So Spurs could still leapfrog Aston Villa with a better goal difference and whatnot up into 5th. It's just better prize money and whatnot. But, it's still a relatively big game, whereas we've got Manchester City. So, yeah, it's not like they're getting an easy run. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens on this final day, basically. But if we could finish the season in 7th, I believe that would be a Europa Conference League qualification spot. And with a good summer, I feel like that's a competition we could take pretty seriously next year. But anyway, let's get into the Manchester City game before we then wrap up this current season, my friends. So this is the team I've chosen to go with against City. We're at home, so it's a little bit of an advantage. Our home form is slightly better than our away form, and we're going to go with Gomez in goal, Gomez and Malacia at fullback, Perez and Zuma at centre-back. Souček's going to partner Rice in the midfield. We're going to go with Szoboszlai on the left-hand side, Pavon on the right, Yaya through the middle, and Madal up top. So here we go, my friends. Big game to be played. Yes, I don't really know what to make of this one. De Bruyne early, it's the wall. Yeah, it's a massive fixture, this, because City need the points. They're going after the title. It would, I don't know, it's boring, isn't it? Because City have dominated it year on year on year. But they're going after the title, and but we need the points because we want to finish in Europe. That's what we really want now. Didn't think it was a possibility when we when we took over, but it's become a huge possibility. But Mbappe, what a save from Andre Gomez. He has definitely been my signing of the season. Obviously, we're going to do all of the end of season review in a minute and that, but he has been incredible between the sticks. We obviously moved Pickford on, brought him in, and he's been a master between the posts. He really has. Early on, it is all Manchester City. I said Liverpool were playing Tottenham, by the way. They're not. They're playing Chelsea, which is actually even better because Chelsea are going after a Champions League spot. And as I'm waffling away about other teams, we go 1-0 down. Very poor first 5 minutes. And like I was saying, Chelsea are 1-0 up. That's helping. It's definitely helping now. We're 1-0 down. Yeah, Mbappe has just had a free run at us, hasn't he, inside the first sort of 15 minutes of this game. If Liverpool lose, it doesn't matter if we lose. I mean, yeah, I thought it was Tottenham. I don't know why I thought it was Tottenham when I was talking to you. But yeah, Chelsea. So Chelsea, they're going to finish third. They can't finish any higher because it's Man U and Man City. But here we go. Corner. Ball comes in. It's well dealt with by Manchester City. And Mbappe is going to come and get that. Absolutely rapid is Mbappe. And he's in again. My God, the movement there was brilliant. He's hit the crossbar. He is the movement on world-class players in this game now. I didn't realise I hadn't triggered a press on him. He is not going to like that now for the rest of the game. We press so well, this team. But yeah, I watch a lot of the match engine, and the really, really good players are just so good on the match engine to watch. You can tell the difference between like really good players and poor players now in the match engine this year. Well, Chelsea are 2-0 to the good. They're doing me the ultimate favour at the moment. They might have ruined my episode last time around, knocking me out of the cup and whatnot. But yeah, they're doing me an absolute solid at the minute by beating Liverpool. Everton have leapfrogged Liverpool as a result of being beat and Everton winning. Oh my, wowsy. That's funny. Imagine that, Liverpool finishing 9th. Obviously not the Liverpool they are today. Caught City up, haven't they, in real life? Anyway, back to FM, and it's half-time, and we've been pretty non-existent, and I am going to come down on the lads, because although that Liverpool result is helping us, we don't want to be heavily dependent and relying on that, do we? But let's see if we can just work our way back into it in this second half, as it's been easy for City to this point. They've got their lead, and they don't look like they're going to drop it. Oscar's going to come on for Christian Pavon, who has not had a good game. Nobody really has, though, up top, have they? Let's be very, very honest about this. Aston Villa finishing 5th is incredible as well. If Villa could go and get some goals, they could finish in the Champions League. I'm going to take Gomez off for Rosas. Yellow card and not playing well himself. This Gil Rosas is very, very good when you look at him on paper, but hasn't really done it for me, though. I'm not sure if he works the system all that well, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. 20 to go, and there's not much happening. So Bosla, I'm going to move inside. I'm going to bring Jared Bowen on. I don't know why I changed Leaf Medal there, but yeah, I'm going to bring Bowen on. And Liverpool have pulled one back. That's a little bit of a worry. Everton are beating Brighton by 2-0. I'm more concerned about what's going on elsewhere. Anyway, let's just do all the usual. I'm kind of keeping an eye on the scores because there's nothing happening in our game. And the trouble is, we're kind of in that position where we're not good enough to go on like a heavy attack with this West Ham. I proved it last episode against Chelsea, didn't I? We're just not good enough to go on any heavy attacks because we just get absolutely found out. But here we go, Malaysia. Ball coming in. Rotas, it's cannoned off the crossbar and hit the keeper and somehow managed to stay out. I have no idea how, but it has managed to stay out. What a goal it would have been. There was me going, I'm not sure if Gil Ross is all that good. And then he goes and does something like that. Okay, I was just saying, we're not really that good, are we? But I'm going to have to go very attacking to try and get something out of the game. I've started doing that as well, by the way, gang. I used to just go attacking, but I've actually started making certain roles attacking as well. Right, Souček's picked the ball up. He is not the fastest, but he's going to drive out, and he's going to go past the Man City player. He's found Bowen, who shoots, and it's a good save from the goalkeeper. And we are trying to press the issue. Another shot comes in. It's blocked by the Manchester City defender, and they are kind of clinging on at the minute. This is important for Man City because of the league title. We're into the last 4 minutes. Can we grab ourselves a really, really late goal? Even if we did, I don't think Manchester United have made the most of their game. We're not gonna. Manchester City are champions, and I'm not going to do you the good grace in watching them lift the title, all right? We're off. Sodom. Next year it's us. Well, I hope. So, yes, that was okay. It didn't bite us on the bum. What an effort, it has to be said, against Manchester City there. Really, really good effort. We had chances to, nick the point, win the game in that one. But we did qualify for the Europa League as a result of Liverpool losing. So, yeah, this is decent. Europa League place goes to the league. I'm assuming that's the one that we've just taken. So, yeah, there we go. We have qualified, my friends. Now, what I'm going to do is take you to the season-ending review. We'll do that, and we'll take a look at the squad, the league table, all the stuff we usually do, and then we'll tie up this episode. Okay, gang, so here we go. Season review. Now, we weren't here the whole season, but I believe, really, if we're being honest, we've made West Ham season what it is. So yeah, let's go to the new arrivals. Obviously, we had a very, very busy transfer window in January, didn't we? Because we were basically trying to sort this club out. As you can see, the majority of the signings have come in and done very well. Joe Gomez we had nothing to do with, but yeah, the majority of them, I think they kind of looked at it and they've thought, like, it's good value for money. They've come in and done a good job. Francisco, by the way, I haven't mentioned this. He hasn't been able to play because we couldn't register him. So, yeah, that was completely my fault. I'm a bit of an idiot there, really. So, yeah, it's one of those things. I'm pretty sure I covered Francisco and all of this stuff in the transfer episodes, but yeah, he hasn't actually been able to be used. So yeah, I think we've done pretty well where the transfer window is concerned. If we're looking at the cups and we're looking at the competitions, I think, let's be honest, a 7th place finish is unbelievable when you think where the club was. If we're looking at the form before we took over, look at it, it's all reds and oranges. There's a few wins in there. And then we came in around about this point, wasn't it? We come in at the Burnley game. So we came in December, and then we really turned the club around. We've still lost games. We've still dropped points here and there, but mostly lots of wins. And it just tells me that the team's already set up for this formation we're using. And it's a very good formation at that. So yeah, we had a really good time. Belotti and Leif Medal both finished the season with 9 goals. Emirates FA Cup, we did all right. We got to the quarterfinals. Shame to lose out to Chelsea in extra time. But a good run anyway. And the Carabao Cup, we went out long before we even took over the football club. Moments to remember. The 5-1 against Leeds, which we actually did as a live episode. So, yeah, you guys got to see that big win. The match to remember was the 3-0 against Brentford. And then we've got the goal of the season, which is the Belotti strike, which I think you might have even seen, gang. To the finances. So yeah, finances, not looking good. I'm going to go over the finances with you in more detail, but lots of reds, lots of money lost this season. Bowen's the highest shirt seller with Rice, Souček, Hyde and Medal not far behind. Reputation's taken a small leap, which is very good to see because that means we'll be able to attract better players in the summer. This is what they considered the team of the season. And it's interesting to see a few omissions, and we're going to talk about them in a moment. But, yeah, so Boslai came in, and what a player he has been for us. Having to play out on that left wing when he's a centre midfielder, but he got 6 assists and 4 goals. Leif Medal, 4 assists and 12 goals from 18 games. Really top stuff. Who else came in for me? No one else in this team. Pickford's still in there in goal. unbelievable. Went off to Fiorentina. And this is how it's going to finish with the accolades, everyone. So fans player of the season has been given to Kurt Zuma. Young player of the season has been given to Leif Medal. Signing of the season goes to Andre Gomez. Goal of the season goes to Belotti. Leif Medal was the top goal scorer with 12 goals. Declan Rice with the most assists with 9. Perez had the most man of the matches with 4. We had Kurt Zuma with 7.4, the average rating. And Declan Rice managed more passes per 90 than anybody else. And there was a record transfer fee for Ethan Ampadu as he went off to Arsenal for $42.3 million. And that is that, gang. For some reason, it's thrown me out like it keeps doing. It usually does one more screen. But anyway, that's that, my friends. So let's have a quick look, shall we, at some of the other bits and bobs. So the club vision for next season: play attacking football, develop players using the system, play high tempo. So basically, they've just added the high tempo on there. And I think that's just because that's how we've been playing. Work within the budget, maximum 1-year contracts for 34-year-olds. We don't really sign old players anyway. Top half of the table is where they would like to see us finish. They want to see us get to the semi-final of the Europa Conference League. Now, I did say with a positive summer window, it would be a competition we take seriously, and it looks like we're going to have to. By the end of 2029 and the 30 season, they want us to be the best of the rest. So basically, they want us to become a top 6 club by then. But you know, we'll see what happens. We will just accept that. Squad dynamics, they're all pretty good. End of season meeting, I'll do that in a moment. Lots of injuries, end of season break. I'm hoping that no, nothing here. Andre Belotti got goal of the season for his strike against Everton, the one that he won it with. That's amazing. I never win goal of the season on FM. There we go. Beautiful stuff. We'll do that in a minute. Finances is where I want to go first. I want to talk to you about the finances. Now, because of prize money and whatnot all coming in, we're now up to 8 million, but we were just £16 million in the red before we went into that Manchester City game. Now, we have a transfer budget of 25 million at the minute, but that's just rolling over from last season. We haven't been given this season's budget yet. I'm hoping it's going to be at least 60-70 million, and then we'll supplement it by selling some players off. Now, I've got my idea of who I want to move on this summer, and I would imagine there might be some surprise ones that get moved on as well, because they're probably going to ask for Champions League football. I know of 2 players that are already I can see it's happening. So that wouldn't surprise me. So yeah, 25.5 million. If that hopefully gets added to a new transfer budget, that would be very nice. We've already got a really healthy wage budget because I got rid of loads of the high earners at the football club. So that's something to keep an eye on. If we go to the squad, and I'll talk to you about who I can see potentially leaving in the summer, even though I maybe wouldn't want them to. Now, I'm thinking Andre Belotti's definitely off, so that frees up his 115 grand a week, which is amazing. Now, I'm thinking of moving Jared Bowen on. Now, as good as Jared Bowen is, especially if you're looking at him, we can't get the best out of him in this system. And the reason for that is I just think his best role is inside forward or inverted winger. And I don't play that. I play 2 proper wingers that bomb on and get balls in the box, as you've seen all season and all series, because we've kind of evolved this system, haven't we, as we've gone on. And he doesn't work in the system. And his form has just been landsliding. Look, ever since we came in, look, he just hasn't played well. He just hasn't played well. So I think I might cash in because his contract's up next season and there's interest. And if we could get about 40 million for him, I would be pretty happy, because that's a lot of money that's going to be added to the transfer kit. He's 31 anyway, so his best years are probably behind him. I think we try and move him on in the summer. I'm going to try to bring Dominic Szoboszlai back on loan. We've got a fee in the contract of 45.5 million, but that's so much money when we have got the biggest rebuild to do. So I'm going to try and bring him back on loan for another season. Maybe try to work that transfer fee down a little if I can. But yeah, bring him back for another year. There's interest being shown in Christian Pavon. Now, he's not been bad for us. He's been pretty good, but he is 32, going to be 33 in the January. Do we maybe cash in and earn a bit of money there? Maybe. I think maybe we do. Francisco will be available next season, so that's pretty good. But yeah, he basically came in and he'd already played for 2 clubs this year, so he couldn't play again. And I didn't realise it was an admin issue. It didn't get brought up on the scouting report or anything. So, but that'll be good for having him next season, so we could move Pavon on. Thomas Souček wants Champions League football. Now, I don't want Thomas Souček to go because I think he's class. And he's proved how good he is for us since I've come in. And he works in the system as well. So I'd like to keep Tommy Souček about. But I think if a really good offer came in, what would it been his last year of his deal? And he's on 120 grand a week. Maybe we cash in. And he's 33. Usually he'd be one of the first players I sold. But he's been so effective in the system that I want to keep him about. Who else was I looking at moving on? Malacia might want Champions League football. He's on 175 grand a week, but we'll see because he's 28 and he's good. He's so consistent. I don't really want to move him on. Hadamasi Morita is definitely one I'm going to move on. 33, not playing any games. We can free the wages up, get about 10 million for him. It's money to add to the transfer kitty. I'm hoping Declan Rice doesn't want to go because he's utter class. He's so good, even though it looks like he's regressing a little bit, but that would just be training. But he's class. This lad, I've had to promise him he'll go if we get a suitable offer of 40 million, so he might be off. And then Kurt Zuma's the other one who I think might ask for Champions League football. And if he does, he's going to be hard to replace. But replace him is what we'll do. But we'll see, because it's not a lot of money for a player that good. 2029 contracts up next year. I'm not sure. If we can't get better, might have to try and offer him a new deal and try to get him to stay. So as you can see, that's lots of players out. So it's going to mean lots and lots of players in. So we've got a big job on our hands for next season. So without further ado, I am going to finish up by taking a look at the Premier League table. It finished like this. A European place is unbloody believable, my friends. It really, really is. Watford, Brighton, Blackburn go down. We were down there fighting to stay up when I took over. And now next year, we're going to be playing Europa Conference League football. And so there you go, my friends. We are done and dusted for another episode of the Hall of Famer. I should say, I didn't show you the Hall of Fame list. There's no point. We didn't win anything this year. So there really, really was no point. What I will do at the next episode, at the beginning of the next episode, because it's usually a lengthier one anyway, I'll show you how Graza did after we left. Because they did sell a few players off, Leaf and Medal being one of them. And I'll let you know how they did in their division. Because we left them in the lurch to go to West Ham. It'd just be nice, wouldn't it, to see how their season finished. And I'll show you that next episode, my friends. But yeah, I won't be showing Hall of Fame lists if we don't win anything, and we haven't done so. But I consider this season a win, finishing 7th, and next season it's going to be very, very exciting. But my friends, until then, if you're new around here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's the best way to support the channel. Drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it as well. Best way to support the channel and the series. But until the next one, I salute you all. Stay safe, stay humble, and I will see you next season, as I have now got a summer of change. Out with the old, in with the new. Laters, my friends.